Guys, today we have a very exciting opportunity to drive a brand new prototype. It's so new, in fact, that it's covered entirely in a special camouflage. I'm not talking about these, by the way, they're just some random wheels I found. I'm actually talking about something else. This, the brand new Ioniq 9. Now, you're probably asking yourself, why is this car under camouflage? We already know what it looks like. We've done a video on the channel, link down below. We know it's got a light bar across the front. We know it's got this fancy kind of glass across the front here, hiding more pixels. We know for a fact that around the side, it's got cameras instead of door mirrors. We know it's got pop-out door handles. We know it's got a metallic section up here that looks fantastic as it bleeds into the roof bars. We know it's got parametric pixels around the rear. Why is it camoed? I asked myself the same question. I think the answer is that this test car existed before the final studio car, and therefore it's not quite perfect. It's had a few knocks, a few prangs, a few little dings that mean it's not in perfect condition. Therefore, it's covered up to hide its blemishes. The 9, for those of you who don't know, is the company's new 7-seater all-electric EV, promising big range, big practicality, and a big impact on the family SUV market. It's distinctive, to say the least, not just outside with its unique wheel arch design, loads of pixels front and rear, but also on the inside where it has big digital screens, rotating seats for second row users, and plenty of space for those in the third row. Not to mention an enormous boot. What we really want to know though is, how does it drive? Well, the car's not quite finished, so we can't give it a full grilling, but we did take an opportunity to visit Hyundai's secret test facility in stunning Mojave, California, home of tumbleweed, Joshua trees, and lots of desert. This drive selector is exactly like the one you get on the Kia EV9. So it's got the start-stop button integrated on it, which is a bit annoying because it's kind of fiddly to get your hand through there. You've got to remember all the time to put your hand underneath the steering wheel to get to it. Yeah, it just shows the very tight relationship between Kia and Hyundai. Okay, here we are in the Ioniq 9. First impressions. I'm going to talk to you about a thing called NVH. That's what you learn on day one in car journalism school. That's called noise, vibration, and harshness. And basically it's how much noise, vibration, and harshness comes in through the car. Now, they've worked quite hard to make it as smooth and quiet as possible. You got laminated glass for the windscreen, laminated glass all around you except at the very back. And you've also got a reinforced panel right here in the A-pillar, which strengthens the door and stops the wind sucking it out and letting excess air in through the gaps. And I've got to say, first impressions, certainly at lowest speeds, is that it's very quiet in here. Really good job. There is a little bit of wind noise though, I'm not going to lie to you. It is quite windy here in the desert. There's nothing really to stop the wind, and it's kind of there. I suspect if I was to go a bit faster, like at motorway speeds, I might hear more of it. But on the whole, pretty decent job. They've also fitted the car with active noise cancelling. So the same thing you get with your active noise cancelling headphones, that's in this car. So it uses accelerometers in the wheel arches to detect the amount of vibration coming up through the wheels, and then it plays an opposite and opposing frequency through the speakers to basically cancel out that unwanted noise. And I mean, it's quiet, so I suppose it works, right? There's one thing in this car that I did want to try out, right? Under here, there's a little area for small items like phones and gloves and things like that. And if you press a button, it can actually sterilize them, believe it or not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my phone down there, and in theory, if I press that button, it should sterilize my phone. I was doing some reading earlier, and apparently mobile phones contain 10 times as much bacteria than a toilet seat. So I'm taking this opportunity while I'm on this winding road to clean the toilet diseases from my phone. And at the end of the video, maybe I'll lick it and I'll let, if I die, before this video is published, then you'll know that that feature doesn't work. But if I survive, then that's a good indication that it does work. The things I do for you. I'm also going to try out something that I do in every single car, and that is the radio. It's hidden away under here. I can't actually show you, but let's crank it up. Yeah. So that's using a 14 speaker Bose stereo system, and it's quite punchy, it's quite good, it's loud, it's strong, decent sound. I also want to try out these massaging seats. The button is right here on the door handle. And what that does is it combines not only the pressure massage, which you get on normal massaging seats, but also it uses vibration. So you get a nice little vibration in your bum and your back. And apparently that increases blood flow and minimizes the amount of tiredness you feel on a long journey. Speaking of tiredness, these seats, I've got to say, they're very supportive. They hold you in place in the corners, but they're not necessarily the most comfortable, I think. They're quite narrow across the back. And I've noticed if you put it into sport mode, that is especially true. I would like a bit more kind of width across the back, and I think that might feel better on a long journey, but they're not terrible. Let's talk about the steering quickly. Really light, very, very light actually. The acceleration, nice and smooth as well. The braking is quite progressive. I think they've actually nailed all of that already. It doesn't feel like any of the kind of major controls need much work, even though this car's in prototype form. It's kind of already there. I can't imagine many changes being made in those departments.
In terms of range, it looks promising. The 9 uses a big 110.3 kilowatt-hour battery pack, which should be good for up to 385 miles WLTP, or I would estimate just shy of 300 miles in real-world driving. As for charging, it will be as quick as the 5 and 6. Expect a 10 to 80% charge in just 24 minutes.
Just having another look under here, and I have found the active sound design menu. So the car makes a noise when you accelerate. Let's see what it sounds like. Like a robot from the future. Yeah, it's not particularly loud or interesting sounding. Nothing like the sound you get in the Ioniq 5N, but if you don't like total silence, it's an option. So, I've come to the end of my drive with the new Ioniq 9. Very interesting car. What's my verdict? I'm actually not going to give you one because it is still in prototype form, but let's just say lots of potential with this one. Could be a fantastic electric family car. Not as interesting though as this facility. Wow, there's loads of stuff here I wish I could show you. Just over there is a new Ioniq 2. Over the hill is a new Ioniq 14, and just behind you is the brand new Ioniq 37, which uses a twin turbocharged V8 running on hydrogen molecules. Fascinating. Right, I think that's it, isn't it? Oh no, there's one more thing, sorry. The mobile phone cleaning system, does it work? Let's give it a go. No!